maybe the fact that King's X always remained somewhat under the radar for the
Mm-hmm.
masses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bought you some freedom too, to just
Yeah, it did.
keep experimenting and not have to churn out the single that's going to sell millions, whatever.
It did, but here's the thing. When the record company would say, we need a hit, or we need this, or needed that, or when they heard Over My Head, they said, that was a great song, but why'd you have to fuck it up in the middle of it with all that? You know, they said, you ruin their songs by putting these things in them where we can't get them on the radio. And we said, sorry, that's us. And we never changed until when we did Dogman, that record. That was a record that I thought, this is the one that's going to put us on the map. I really believed it. I never even thought about the other four as being, we're going to be a big deal. Because I wasn't convinced of those first four records myself. I didn't understand what it meant to people. I didn't get it. I was too close to it, and I worked too hard on it, and I hated a lot of the stuff that I had to deal with making those records with Sam. So when Dogman, it was a freedom. I was proud of it. My heart was in it. And I'm going, this is the one. We did the video. I'm going, man, this is going to be badass. Did it in New York City, the whole thing outside. We got Woodstock. I'm going, are you kidding? Right. 250,000 people, 300,000 maybe. I get there. And I don't know if I've told you the story, if you've heard the story, but like we get there and we run into Jeff Rowland, who was one of the guys that put on Woodstock. And I go, dude, why are we at Woodstock? And he goes, because you're one of my favorite bands, and there's no way I could have Woodstock without one of my favorite bands. And you guys, because we met him, he worked for ICM, and he booked U2 and Springsteen. He saw our debut show before we got signed in New York at the Cat Club. Oh, wow. And after the show, he came back and said we were the next U2, and he was losing his mind. So how many years? 6, 7 years later, I run into this guy. I hadn't seen him since, really. And he says, that's why we're there, which confirmed to me that, yeah, we're outside the country club. We still have to get that extra key. So I felt defeated because I was in my depressed state, feeling like we didn't matter. I'm going, damn, now we're going to go out here. Nobody's ever heard of us in front of all these people, you know, because all the other bands, people knew, they heard them, you know. We get out there. I remember there's no sound check, no anything. You had to set up because the stage turned. I remember the stage when the band before us got done playing, the stage started to turn, and the guy said, ladies and gentlemen, from Houston, Texas, King's X. And he said it really fast and then walked away. And people started clapping, and then there was dead silence. And the thing went slowly, turned around, slowly. And then by the time we turned around, they were just kind of, you could hear people talking. So it was a letdown from the beginning. And you could hear me say, hello, Woodstock. And then you could hear people, yeah, you know, we are King's X. And we start the song. Okay, we do the whole set. I remember the lead singer for Live told me, he said, man, don't try to reach the crowd. They're too far away. I mean, they were so far away, you couldn't even see faces. He said, don't try to do that. He said, just think to yourself, do what you do. And my dumbass says, no, I'm going to try to be like Bono and somehow get to him. And I went out there to do that and failed miserably in my mind. And after we played, I remember storming off the stage, and I thought we ruined our career and it was over for us. Really? And they immediately drug us over to this radio station that was playing Woodstock Live that night. And they were playing repeats, and they were playing Black Flag, and they're getting ready to interview us. And I'm listening to this song going, wow, that is jamming. On stage, I thought I was bombing. I thought it was, so I'm going, wow, it wasn't that bad. And then about a few weeks later, we thought Woodstock, we're going to sell some records because the record hadn't been out that long. Right. We sold 200 copies in the New York State area, and the record tanked. And Atlantic decided to put us in the studio again. At that time, Sheryl Crow played after us, sold millions. Live played before us, sold millions. Jackal played before them. Candlebox played after us. Oh. went and sold millions. Howard Stern said we blew everybody away. USA Today said we were one of the top 5 bands. And MTV said we woke everybody up. And we sold no fucking records. That's when all 3 of us went. I think we just kind of stopped dreaming. We just stopped dreaming. We didn't quit. We gave up on trying whatever it was we were trying to do to be a big time rock and roll band. We gave up on that and just kept playing. We just kept playing. Ty cut his hair off the next day and we played John Stewart. He was bald. Yeah. And everybody goes, did you guys get a new guitar player? He literally went home and went, I'm done with this. And went back to the hotel, I think it was. I can't remember now how it was, but some of it's, but those are, that's our life. And maybe goes, oh, King Zach, look at all, I'm going, nah. It was a big war for us because I always say to Ty and Jerry all the time, I go, it's us against the world. Let's go. Yeah. And that's the way it is. No pity party. It's been a great ride.